to Sid and Millie Chats.
I'm Sid.
I'm Millie, and we invite you to be a fly on our wall. So today we're chatting about...
London.
Today we'll be chatting about our first international trip together when we went to England. So we'll probably break this out into a few parts, specifically just because it's a ton to cover.
Yes.
Because we were very busy during our time there. But yeah, so today we'll specifically be talking about London. So Sid, why don't you kick us off?
Kick us off.
Yeah, kick us off about London. Tell us, like, it was your first time leaving the country, so I guess, what was that experience like from, I guess, getting on the plane? What was, like, your first international flight like?
Why
don't we start there? Yeah.
I mean, in terms of, like, showing my passport, or, like...
Okay. Alright, what was that? Okay, wow. Yeah, no, so it's like, how did I go through security? Nah, alright, maybe we don't need to get into,
so
like, the step by step. Yeah, maybe like the...
It was a long
food.
flight, and I had a really hard time sleeping.
Yeah, that was a rough part of the flight. That was also, we had like a connecting flight.
Right.
That was in our connecting flight era.
And yeah, oh my gosh.
We'll
we are no
into.
longer in a connecting flight era.
Yeah, that era is over, but that will be a discussion for
another time.
Another time.
Another trip.
Yeah.
Not this trip.
Yeah, definitely
This
not.
trip, we really thought flying overseas was so easy after this trip.
Yeah, facts. Shout out to JetBlue.
Yeah, JetBlue really did give us a great first experience with flying overseas.
Yeah, they did. The food was fantastic.
As good as
Right. Within reason.
As good as the airplane food could be.
Yeah. Okay, that's
better
that's
than the other airlines
we
had flown with. We got a little ice cream chocolate chip cookie sandwich.
We got the socks. We got the eye mask.
We got the socks. Yeah.
Little portable
chocolate croissant in the morning.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out.
Shout out.
Okay, so your first flight, other than not being able to sleep, went pretty well.
Yeah, I would say it did.
Okay.
There was a lot to do in Wembley, like in that area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Obviously, our big thing, we were there to see like the Manchester United game. We were there to see
whole point of the trip.
Right. We wanted to see. We were there to see United versus Brighton in the FA Cup semi-final back in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To confirm the year really quick. Yeah. So that was like the main like premise. So we were staying in Wembley Park. We arrived, I think it was
a Friday.
A Friday, okay. So we arrived on a Friday. It was pretty like calm around Wembley, I guess, when we got in. It was like early morning though.
Yeah, it was that like early 8 a.m. probably that we got in
there. Yeah.
We were so tired.
Yeah, facts. But the first thing we did obviously was like go and walk around.
Yes,
The first thing we did was after we like dropped our stuff off, we changed out of our travel clothes, we showered.
Yeah, showered, took a nap.
Yeah, yeah, fair. Yeah, we definitely
took
a little nap. Yeah, dang. Yeah, that was a rough travel day for you.
It was really rough. And also like our first time traveling like that together.
Yeah, true. That was like our first like
big
trip together.
So that was another thing, you know. Trying to put on a brave face.
Wow. But I thought, I thought it went well.
Yeah.
So we got in, we were walking, basically walked across one little road from our hotel, and then we were like right outside of the train station at Wembley Park, which was sick.
And then from there, you could basically see the stadium.
Right. Well, because on that first day that we got there, I don't know if someone else played or something.
Yeah, there must have been another game because we saw the huge rush of people leaving the stadium trying to go to the train station.
Right.
And they had the police basically sectioning people off so that only some people would go into the train station at a time.
Exactly. So
it was very organized.
Yeah, really organized, but definitely pretty interesting to see the whole crap, like a wave.
Yeah, it was
coming out of the stadium, but yeah, so when that finally calmed down after our little intermission, we ended up going back out to Wembley Park to like go and explore and like walk around and do all of that stuff. So what were your initial thoughts, I guess, of like Wembley? I mean, I've obviously only seen it on like TV at that point.
Yeah, but... like of the stadium. I mean, it was huge. And like it was cool though because all of the like surrounding area was apartments. And everything too, which
and like
was
places
also
to
cool.
eat.
Like it's a very commercialized area,
right?
So it's not like I guess to compare to stadiums, say in the States, where it's parking lots around the whole thing. There's not like a commercial hub basically for them to be
existing. Yeah, that's a good point because I mean, what was that place we ended up going to a few times? Like
Bread Ahead.
Yeah. I was actually gonna say Box Park.
Oh, Box Park.
Yeah, but Bread Ahead is also like a good one because that was. Where we had like our first probably traditional English breakfast.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you were loving English breakfast.
Yeah,
I got the Eggs Benedict.
Oh, that's right. They had like a pretty unique one.
They
there
did.
as well.
The English muffins were so fluffy.
Nice, yeah. It was pretty interesting how everyone kind of had like their own take on the English muffin.
Yes. Everywhere we went, it was different.
Yeah, but yeah, so the English breakfast was very hearty meal. Let's just say that. But I did definitely. I think I had that probably like every day.
I think every time we went there,
basically every day. But yeah, Bread Ahead. They were unmatched.
They killed it. Their orange juice.
The orange juice, yeah. Something about not adding chemicals and preservatives and random...
Something about seeing the oranges being squeezed right in front of you.
Right, it just...
really just makes you feel good.
Yeah.
About what you're consuming.
100%, yeah. So, yeah, orange juice, fantastic. So we loved that. Bread Ahead was fantastic.
It was.
And then, Box Park, though. Also
Box
cool
Park,
spot.
it was like a food hall basically, but also an arcade,
right?
Like Barcade or whatever.
Yeah, arcade, barcade.
Like,
there were a lot of things going on in there, right?
Like, they had everything.
Because one of the days there was like arcade stuff going on in there. Like there was like what do they call it when trivia? Yeah. That's what it was. And then the other day that we just like watched one of the games that was on.
Yeah,
like,
right. Because there was supposed to be a comedy show.
Yeah.
But then there was just a bunch of games on, so they probably canceled it.
Yeah. You can see the priorities of the people, because it was definitely one of the like Premier League games that was on that weekend, and it was just like on the massive projector screen, and we went and got our food because there were a bunch of like different food spots in there, which is really cool.
Yeah, it was. They had so many different things and like little dessert spots, and I think we got boba while we were there.
They had boba too. Dang.
Well,
they were well because in like the Wembley area though, like the Wembley Park area, there were so many things like around that entire like shopping, I guess, I don't know, that little district that exists at Wembley Park.
Yeah, there were so many things. I mean, a lot of it was very touristy. Yeah. Like where we went after, I think it was the Mexican restaurant we went to after
God.
After the game we went to.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that was probably a pretty extreme tour. I mean, that was like kind of like a mall. Yeah. To be fair, but like in our defense though, after the United game, like all the people leaving the stadium, it was like a crazy rush.
It was insane.
I mean, I don't know if like people have been a part of that, but when you're a part of like 80,000 people trying to leave a stadium at the same time, like, I mean, it was fun.
It was chaos.
It was fun in games at first when all the United fans, we were singing. United had just won, advanced in pens, but we were starving.
We were starving. We were like at a point, I feel like, well, we don't need to get into the game. Because that's where I was going with that.
Oh God, yeah.
But
I mean, we always just want United to win, but
Well,
going
yeah.
to Pens for our
Twice.
first FA Cup game, our first time in Wembley.
Our first game in the UK or
Yeah,
anywhere in Europe.
yeah. Our first time seeing United live,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we didn't see them again until the following summer,
Right.
or I guess later
That
that
summer,
year.
yeah.
So yeah, our first time seeing them live, and of course happened to go to penalties.
Yeah, it was at a point where I feel like we were just like, can the game just end?
Yeah, I mean,
Please.
everyone had that.
Yeah.
I think it's probably because they obviously didn't let you bring like
Snacks
drinks
and
back.
stuff.
Well,
yeah.
I guess you could bring snacks, but
Oh, but you couldn't bring like the drinks into the stands.
yeah,
which makes
and I mean,
sense.
yes, that's true. That definitely tracks. That tracks for sure. But I mean, the food choices at the stadium were, I mean,
I mean,
pretty.
they had those steak and pies.
Oh. Stop.
And what do
Nah,
they have?
whoever is
Candy
controlling
floss?
yeah, the candy floss. Nah, whoever is controlling the I don't know, the food selections at Wembley Stadium, they need to be
Yeah.
that role needs to be reassessed. Because surely there's some better options of food.
I know, because what were some of the other options?
I mean,
I think there were like 2.
yeah, it was basically just like that. That was all I remember.
feel
And then
like,
like
yeah,
fries, maybe some
right,
pizza, like
maybe,
some like
yeah.
very, very basic stuff.
Basic.
I mean, I guess you wouldn't expect stuff to be like that crazy
Whoa.
for like
right.
stadium food, but
Yeah, but it wasn't anything to write home about.
yeah, England things, I guess. But to immediately contradict that statement, I was just about to say it. Yeah, the Indian food that we went to in Wembley Park.
Yeah, it was called.
That was what our first meal when we. Was that
yeah,
our first meal?
that was our first.
Like our
night.
first full
Our
meal.
first, yeah, like.
Because I feel like
sit-down
we
meal.
might have had like coffee and maybe a pastry or something while
Yeah.
we were like walking around. Wembley Park.
Definitely.
But yeah, do you know what the name of that restaurant was?
Masalchi
Masalchi.
by Atul Kochar. I
Okay.
don't know if I said his.
All right, well you
the
tried.
name right,
You tried.
but I
You're
tried.
yeah, you're probably closer than me. You tried to sound it out, but
I sounded it out. If
but,
you
uh,
can't find it,
Fair
I'll
enough.
put it in the description.
okay, yeah, that would be perfect. There you go. Put it in the description. But yeah, that restaurant was
Fire.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
That was probably like some of the best food I've had generally.
Yeah,
Like,
their butter chicken. Ooh.
next level. The drinks,
The drinks.
Wow.
Yeah.
unbelievable.
So good.
that was, and that place was just like literally just
In
Wembley Park,
Right
yeah.
near the stadium.
right near the stadium, and some of
Yeah.
the best food we've had. And you said it had 1 Michelin star, 1 or 2 Michelin?
Yeah, it's like a
A
Michelin,
Michelin star restaurant. Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Understandable.
Yeah, 100% understandable, lived up to
Mm-hmm.
expectations. So it's not like, I don't think we had like any issues with, I think we had like a ton of really good food
Yeah,
while
I
we were
think
in
so.
London. I mean, I guess that's like kind of expected with it being such like a
High
cultural hub.
quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to your point of like the high quality, that kind of like brings us into like the Borough Market, because
Mhm.
that was such like the epitome of like freshness, like quality
Yes.
produce.
Everything was just like out. It was like
Mhm.
what you expect to see in
From like
a market in Europe.
right,
Like,
and
all the fresh produce, the
Mm.
fresh fish,
right.
fresh
There was,
cooked
like,
food,
juice.
like
Yeah,
juices.
exactly.
You got a sandwich that had like this aged Parmesan
That was
grated on
phenomenal.
top, which
that
was
like
so good.
like what apple thing or whatever that we got, that like crumble. I don't
Oh
even
my
know.
gosh, yeah,
we
that
got like
like
a pastry
yeah,
too, which is really
caramel,
good.
was like there was almonds or something. Yeah, but
Yeah, they had
so
it.
good.
They had everything.
Texture phenomenal.
But what was it about like the Borough Market? It's like one of the oldest markets.
I think it was established in the 1700s.
Wow. Okay. So like one of like the oldest markets probably that like is it in existence. Then.
Yeah, I would think so.
That's pretty amazing that it's been around for so long.
For so long.
And could definitely see why. One, it was like amazing there, so there was kind of like an endless. Wow, yeah, 1756 is crazy. That's so old.
Yeah.
But it was like amazing there.
It was.
We walked around like probably for a good like what, hour to 2
Definitely.
at least.
Yeah. trying to see every little inch of the thing. We were
Of
like,
the
did we
Burma.
go this way?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but we'll go this way.
Yeah,
See if we
exactly.
missed anything.
Yeah, kind of had to. It
Yeah,
was
well,
such
because
a-
then we found that little fresh lavender stand, which
yeah.
was notable for sure.
Yeah, still have a little packet
Still
of
got
that.
the little pouch. Still
Yeah.
smells really good.
Yeah, so
Still
true.
got that strong scent.
Mm-hmm.
Speaks to the quality.
Yep, quality for sure. So yeah, the Borough Market was really amazing. That was like such a cool experience. So I'm glad that you put that on our to-do list.
Yeah.
and made sure that we like went and did
Had
that.
to.
Because that was truly really cool. But something else that I feel like we haven't really talked. Well, I guess we kind of talked about like the structure of how Wembley Park had all the food and like all the stuff at like that train station. But something else we haven't really chatted about is like the architecture.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, because Wembley, probably that area wasn't the most notable or like impressive in terms of architecture.
Yeah, it's definitely very industrial.
Yeah,
like,
very much so.
right. But when
Getting
we went
down
to like
into the center of London,
like main London.
yeah, because you had like the mix of modern buildings. Like you have that building, the Shard, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
Super modern glass building, and then you have
Right.
like this old, I don't know, centuries old building with this phenomenal architecture on it.
Yeah.
And it's just the contrast. But you
It's
know, there's
crazy,
so much
yeah.
history preserved in those
Facts.
buildings.
Yeah, so true. And I guess like that's like a kind of a segue into like our day 2, which is when we went to like the like more central parts of London.
Yes.
So it was kind of amazing. One, obviously, just being able to hop on the train,
Well, right.
walk to
Yeah,
the train
can't
station,
say enough about the trains.
hop on the
honestly.
train. You just slide a couple blocks
Tap
up.
your phone. Like.
Anyway.
Anyway.
So we get to like Central Station. We pull out and like Big Ben is just staring at us.
Just Sarah Benjamin.
Yeah.
Right there.
Benjamin, yeah, that I mean, truly like a marvel.
It
like,
really was, yeah.
crazy.
Architecture, again.
Yeah.
The gold in the buildings.
Yeah.
Like,
Really, like most of the buildings, like in that area, like the Central London, like the Tower Bridge, like what we did, like the London. What was it? I guess like the Queen's
the
Walk.
Queen's Walk,
Was
yeah.
kind of like more
The
industrial.
Covent
also.
Garden. Had
Yeah.
really beautiful architecture.
Yeah.
Westminster Abbey.
Okay,
The
yeah, the
church.
church. Yeah, I mean the architecture on these buildings is like insane.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't even look real.
It doesn't. It really like boggles your mind, if that's the
yeah.
word. Like thinking about how they were creating this intricate architecture
Yeah.
back when they created it.
Right.
And it's just like we've gotten so far away from that, I say that
Right.
to say. So it's
Yeah.
just like mind boggling to see how much effort and time and resources were put into those buildings that we just like don't see the same thing happening today.
So true. So true. And I feel like we were there at like a really good time too, like because it was like early spring, you know?
Yeah, we had great weather.
Great weather, yeah. So it was like, I don't know, for me, I feel like in some of the pictures we took, like the contrast between like the sky, like the like really like a really blue. It was like Earth Day, wasn't
Yes,
it?
it was.
That was like, I don't know, like that day was like a really big highlight, I feel like.
It was. For what other reason?
Yeah, that was also, so the 22nd was also when we solidified and became a unit.
Officially.
Yeah, officially started our relationship, so that was really cool to do that in London, like our first big trip together.
100%. Yeah. I feel like that, just like such a little starting point for us.
Yeah,
It
100%.
actually,
Oh, I guess that's really it for our first half of like what London was about. We had like phenomenal food.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed the architecture. Really enjoyed being able to take the train all over and get to go all over the place. That was like really sick.
It was.
What
Yeah, and
else?
I feel like that's just scratching the
I
surface
know.
of what we did for our trip.
I know. We'll really have to probably like break down some of like the actual things that we did. Because
Yeah.
obviously we didn't even talk about like the game, getting into
We
the
didn't-
stadium.
We forgot about the London Eye.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did see the London Eye. We went
The
over a bunch
park
of
we went to
bridges.
that first
Yeah,
day.
the first day. What was that park called? Like Queens Park or
Friant.
some random
Friant
huge park.
Something park.
That park was sick.
Friant Country Park.
Okay, yeah, we also did that. So a lot of things to still kind of cover on London, but I feel like that was a good starting place. A
Yeah.
good like,
Surface.
yeah, a good
Yeah.
surface level overview of like what we did. Pretty cool getting to go there together. We started our relationship there,
Yes.
right outside the palace.
I know, yeah, Buckingham Palace.
Yeah,
It's right there.
yeah, right.
Gosh, whoop. Didn't even get into that either. Okay.
So yeah, and then we obviously got to see Man United play and win, which was really cool. So it was a super lit trip.
Yeah,
so
it was.
a lot of good things to cover. So that's a recap on the first part of our trip to England, our little segment on London, kind of like the preliminary get-go of that. So that's part one. If you made it this far, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Peace. This is us in front of the Tower Bridge in London.
This is Big Ben on Earth Day in London.
This is Wembley. Oh, me and Wembley.
This is the English breakfast from Bread Ahead.
The Borough Market, established 1756.
This is some of the fish that we saw out at the Borough Market.
This is us back in like central London in front of the London Eye.
This is a pretty garden we saw.
Yeah, this is another like garden we saw in London. Pretty cool. All these.
This is us in front of Big Ben.
That's the another English breakfast.
This is Wembley
Wembley.
Stadium.
Yeah, this is Wembley. This was like the people outside trapped. Just
Wow, yeah. Okay.
This was Wembley before all the people started filing in.
Wembley again. We were there
Ooh.
super early.
Yeah. Little English nationalism for you.
Oh yeah, Covent Garden.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.